Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. Glad to have you guys on here. We got a lot going on. Trump is saying that he wants Canada. He's like, and Greenland, and the Panama Canal. He wants it back. And will he actually do this? And how can he do it? How can he get Canada to join the United States? Well, he's already kind of laid it out what his plan is. He's already told everybody. He's not keeping it secret. His plan to obtain Canada. So what is it? What's his plan to obtain Canada? And why? Why does he need Canada so bad? Well, first let's take a look at why he needs Canada so bad. And it's got to do with this. He's saying national security, and in a way it is tied in with national security, but it's in my mind it's got more to do with what's happening with the sea ice up in the Arctic. You see that red trade route in the picture? Believe it or not, they couldn't utilize that. Why is because up until just recently, they couldn't utilize it as a trade route, that red route, and also on the Russian side, they got the green route and the blue route there. Why they couldn't utilize it was the sea ice was too thick all year long, and icebreakers really couldn't cut it. It would they break the ice, and a day later it'd freeze back over again, and so you couldn't take ships through there. But in the last few years, and actually quite recently, the ice has been thinning, and it's got thin enough, the ice now, so that you can take an icebreaker through, and it won't freeze over, at least not quickly. And so they're reaching a point now, starting now, and it's going to get better every year. It's going to get more open. The ice is going to get thinner and less ice, and in the end, they might not even have to use icebreakers. And this is going to create a new world trade route. And we're talking immense amounts of money here because all world trade is going to want to go through this Arctic pass rather than go the way they have been going. A traditional method. This Arctic pass is roughly 7,000 miles. The traditional method they've been using is 12,000 miles. How you know? How you know? The difference between 7,000 and 12,000 miles. They cut off 5,000 miles. Almost cuts their voyage in half. All world trade. They have to have the control. America is not. It's not a. Oh, maybe we should have control over this, or maybe no. They have to have control over this. And where does this red line go? It weaves its way right through Canada, northern side of Canada, and right through Greenland. Now you know the rest of the story, guys. Now you know why they want it so bad. It's a must-have. So now that we realize why he wants to have Canada as the 51st state, has got to do with global trade and the shipping, primarily. How's he going to do it? How's he going to get Canada? Because right now we got Pierre and Trudeau, the powerhouse in Canada, the two parts of the powerhouse now. Pierre, I'll call it Pierre and Trudeau, and Pierre's been getting up there and giving speeches and stuff about this, and he's trying to. I just don't think they're getting it. They're understanding it. Trump wants your whole country. They're focusing on the 25% tariff. They're not focusing on that. It's like they're just laughing it off. Oh, he wants our country. laughing it off. And oh yeah, okay, we're going to focus on the tariffs because that's what's right in their face is the tariffs, and they're trying to figure out. And so Pierre's up there trying to tell them, hey, Canada's got all these natural resources, and we supply America with this and this and this and this, and we're such a good trading partner, and the premier of Ontario's been getting up there talking to him basically, but they're just telling Trump what he already knows, and he's already said, he's told them, we don't want your milk, we don't want your oil, we don't want your corn, we don't want your softwood, we don't need it. And they're telling him how much they got it. Oh yeah, we got this, and we got this, and we got this. You can't cut us off because we got all this stuff. But they're just making it more attractive for Trump. They're telling him how much resources we got up here. It's just telling him what a big plum we got up here. We got a lot of natural resources. We got a lot of stuff. We got a lot of people. We got a lot of... That's just going to make him want it more. Okay, let's get down to the nitty gritty. What happens? See, you've got... Right now, we're in a very unusual circumstance. We have got very, very special men. 3 of them. They're running the world right now. And why I say they're special is they're not your ordinary class of men. These men are leaders. These are real leaders. These are in ancient times they'd be emperors. They'd be like Alexander the Great, Trump, these are a special kind of a man. You've got 3 of them right now. You got the leader of China, the leader of Russia, and the leader of the United States. These are all very, very powerful men. It's unusual to have 3 at the same time. 3 men that are like the great men of the past, like Caesar and Napoleon and Alexander the Great. It's very unusual to have 3 men of that status and category and power at once in the world. And they're running the 3 biggest countries on earth right now. Okay? Now, Xi Jinping, the leader of China, he says, okay. I mean, Xi Jinping, or I can't pronounce his name real good, sorry. But he says, okay, I want Taiwan. Well, what do you think's going to happen? Everybody in the world just kind of knows, And so then Vladimir Putin comes along and he says, okay, I want Ukraine. What's happening? Now Trump comes along and he says, oh, I want Greenland and Canada. And people are like, you better not laugh. You better not laugh this one off. Because Trump is in the same category as the other 2 big powerful. They're emperor type men. They're a man of a special category, a special status, and they have special abilities that in ancient times they used to become kings or emperors or world emperors even. And when they decide they want something, and Trump's got good reason for wanting this. So what are the Canadians, what are Pierre and Trudeau going to do? What are the leaders here in Canada going to do? Well, they're already saying that they're going to fight fire with fire. America's going to throw a 25% tariff in there, and then they're going to tariff stuff too. Well, we can do it too. They're just going to make Trump mad. That's all they're going to do. He's already told you don't need your stuff, and so you're going to put a tariff on your stuff. He's already told you don't need it. And, that's just like he fires a tariff of you. If you fire a tariff back, you're going to just antagonize the situation. I mean, think about what he could do. He throws in a 25% tariff against Canada. Oh, that's going to sting. I'm going to tell you. Yeah, that'll sting. But if they throw a bunch of tariffs back at him, he might raise it to 50%. What you going to do then? Your biggest trading partner cuts you off. Well, that's the big thing, see? we're talking about the Bank of Canada having to probably, I don't know, drop rates into the negative or whatever they have to do to try to control the economy after it gets hit with 25% tariffs. Oh my gosh, you get like 100,000 jobs gone or whatever. And the Canadian people, I mean, that wouldn't be a big thing for America, but we lose a whole bunch of jobs and stuff, and people without work, and people get upset and everything else. It's softening it. His plan is to soften Canada up, and then they're going to swoop in. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if this goes on for a year or so and Canada is in a totally different financial state than they are now. And if ads come on our television, uh, sponsored by the Americans. I mean, we live in a democracy. I mean, how would they be able to stop them from sponsoring a bunch of ads trying to push for I don't know. I'm not even going to, well, I will say it. I'm allowed to say it. And this is my idea. Probably the thing you'd see next then is a referendum of some sort. I don't know. I'm just saying that because I realize that's how Putin was able to obtain Crimea. See? And similar category of type of a man, these world leaders, all three of them, I see them as not Napoleons, but more like, I'm going to say more like Alexander the Great. Three of them. And they all want conquest. Russia wants as much as they can get. China wants expansion as much as they can get. And America. And the only way America is going to stay viable now in this kind of a situation, in this ever-changing economic landscape, is they got to start controlling things. They got to start controlling things like where the ships go, trade, world trade. For the longest time, America was able to maintain control by controlling the petro, only selling dollars. They were able, and that really worked for a long time. But now that's waning. This could be a secondary means of control to control the route that the ships take through the Arctic. It's very important. And so, yeah, I'm thinking that ultimately, either the America's so big and so powerful, and Canada's just, they're a big country, but they don't got no power. They're like a whole bunch of land with nobody on it. You know what I mean? And a very small military. I think our military, we couldn't stand up to the Ukraine military. Canadian. I think Ukraine's more power and has been able to fight Russia off. I don't think Canada would have been able to last that long with their military against the Ukraine military. And Russia, their military is smaller than the United States military, which is huge. It's it's 10 times. Well, I'm not going to say 10 times bigger, but if you were to take China, Russia, all of them, all the powers out there, and pit them against the United States, they still wouldn't be equal to the United States. The United States is by far the most powerful military on earth. Unbelievably powerful military. Okay? And Canada's, I don't think they're even as strong as Ukraine's military. And Ukraine's military is beaten back by Russia, and Russia's not near as powerful as the United States. So, I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, Canada military would be like a 1, and the United States military is a 10. And I mean, and using this economic pressure, I mean, take a look at this. It says Trump threats to Greenland and Canada. Okay? It says Greenland, Canada, and Panama often sound like ramblings. See, this is the problem. They're associated with ramblings of a real estate shark. No, he's going to be the leader of the free world by the 20th of January. He's already telling you what he's going to do. The question here is military force. Trump keeps military force off the table when concerned with Canada. But he's talking about military force, and it's on the table when it comes to Greenland and the Panama Canal. I'm thinking to myself, we have to wait and see. But I mean, if things don't go their way, then what? Down the line. That's what I'm saying. So that does seem like a little bit of a stretch, But then again, too, the situation that we've seen unfold in the world since 2020 is, to where I'm talking to you guys right now, is a huge stretch to what things are now from what things were back in. A lot of weird things have happened, and this is just one of many weird things that have happened and continue to happen. And so expect the unexpected, and maybe that would be the unexpected if Canada actually is taken over by the United States and made into the 51st state. Uh, you know. Now, talking about the fires in Los Angeles, I got a map on here for you guys of the fires in Los Angeles. And this is the big one right here, the Palisades fire, 20,438 acres. And we see another one up here, the Eaton fire. It's the second biggest at 13,956 acres. And then we have another fire here, the Hearst fire, is 831 acres. And the Kenneth fire, 960 acres. And we got another one up here, the Lydia fire, 348 acres. Now, the thing about all this is, if what you notice is, oh my goodness, I'm telling you, Los Angeles is one enormous city. All the way down into Santa Ana. When you take it all the way down to Los Angeles, just one big city all the way. My goodness, look at the size of it, Los Angeles. But it's in the northern side of Los Angeles, and it's mostly on the outskirts, these fires. They're not really burning into the downtown core or anything like that. And they're saying that the winds now are going to subside slightly. That's what I've been hearing. That it's not going to be quite as... And so we might have seen the worst of this. But, guys, it's like over 5,000 homes. First thing's going through my mind is, what about insurance? Take a look. California insurance in crisis. The solution will cost homeowners a ton. So the insurance companies are just going to jack the price up. But, we're not just getting these fires out in Los Angeles, destroying thousands of homes. We just got over a crisis in North and South Carolina from a hurricane. In that region there, actually, is more states than that even. It was like it went up through more states. Florida, the hurricanes just keep coming and striking in these states from what will soon not be called it'll be the Gulf of America instead of the Gulf of Mexico. They get in the Gulf of Mexico and they fire up. Be the Gulf of America, and they fire up and they come in and they do tremendous damage. But now we're getting earthquakes, we're getting fires, we're getting strange storms, we're getting just more stuff than we can imagine coming at us. And so it's going to cost the homeowners. How can these insurance companies actually keep up? You get a storm come in, knocks out 100 homes, and they have to pay out. And then a fire comes in, knocks out 5,000 homes, and then a few days later you get a hurricane comes in down. And I mean, it's just these natural disasters just keep coming and coming. I don't know how people are going to be able to afford in the end house insurance. And don't they require, if you're going to get a mortgage or whatever, you have to have it. They force you to buy it. Talk about a racket. Whenever you get something like that where they force you to buy something, it's called getting you over a barrel, and they love to do that. That's part of the greed of this system. Okay, guys, I wanted to bring you guys up to date somewhat. I'm going to be doing the show on Sunday. Thank you guys for listening to my channel. And you guys have a great afternoon. Bye-bye.